All right, what do we got today? We are installing a cabin air filter in a Gen 3 Montero. This one happens to be a 2001 Limited, but this works for all Gen 3s, 2001 to 2006. So none of them in the United States came with cabin air filters. They are pretty much good to go for a cabin air filter. You just need one little mod, which I'm going to show you how to do that right now. But Mitsubishi just cheaped out. Other markets got cabin air filters, but we didn't. So here's what you're going to need. You're going to need our cabin air filter that you can find on lusooverland.com. It is set up for left-hand drive vehicles, and it also has carbon in it, so that's going to help out with odors. And you're going to need a 10mm socket. Not going to make a 10mm socket joke. You're going to need a utility knife with a brand new blade, and you're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver. So let's get into it. Step one, you're going to need to open up your glove box, just get all this stuff out of there, and you're going to remove this clip, and then there's one on the opposite side as well. They're kind of funky, but all you need to do to remove them is push them down, but you can't push them down because on the other side they're hitting this wall. So just lift the glove box up a little bit, and you put your finger back here, then push down. Now you can see it released, and then that will allow you to, they only come out one way too, so you might need to spin it a little bit to the side, and then they'll come out. So do that on the other side as well. That'll allow your glove box to open up all the way. Then if you look under here, here's where your blower motor is, and then right here is the spot where the cabin air filter would go. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut it out right along this indentation. It's already indented perfectly for the cabin air filter. So we're gonna cut that out. But before we can, there is this random bracket in the way. It's like a claw, and it's made to hold a wire harness, but again, US market ones, there is no wire harness for it. So we're gonna remove it with a single 10mm bolt at the top, and then after that, when we're done with this, if you want to reinstall it, cool. If you don't need it, you don't have to. So let's remove it. So now we got that bracket off, one 10mm bolt, and then we can now make our cut. This is what the brand new razor blade on the utility knife is going to do. You could use a Dremel, you could use an oscillating tool, you could use a bunch of things, but we just want to cut that rectangle out along that perforation. So even with the brand new razor blade, it's pretty hard to like drag the blade across and cut it. So what I usually do is I just kind of push it in like that, and then take it out, and then do the next section and just go down the line until it's done. All right, so here's what it looks like after you cut out this piece of plastic. And you know, then I just took the razor blade, just kind of along it, trimmed up these little pieces of plastic, these little shavings that were kind of sticking up. So so that's what it's going to look like. Now let's install the cabin air filter. This is what you're going to get from us inside. There's going to be 2 screws to secure your filter, and then the filter itself. Okay, so you're going to install the filter with the arrow facing down, and that will go like this. And you can see there is a screw hole here and one here, and that's gonna match up with, let me take this out, that's gonna match up with there and there. So put that in like that. Great, and now we can secure it with the 2 screws. And remember, arrow down is the direction of the airflow, because the blower motor is sucking the air through the filter. There you go, guys. That's how it should look. You got your 2 screws in there, and all I'm gonna do now is throw that claw bracket back in there. Like I said, you could keep it, you can get rid of that claw bracket. It'll make it easier to replace your cabin air filter in the future if that claw's not there. The only other thing is putting the little clips back in the glove box. So just take the clip like this, and if you look on the back of it, there's that other notch in it. That's gonna face up like that. So you might have to turn it to get it back there, but then once it's back there, it's gonna face, you just push it up, and then as the glove box drops down, it kind of locks it into place. So That's all there is to it. Super, super simple mod to get a cabin air filter, keep that dusty, smelly air out of your Gen 3. Thanks, guys.